Greetings, fellow travelers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, episode 35, Searching for Iron. So I believe it's 12 per. Veterans in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. Per fire, per spot. 12, yes, okay. And I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll make 48 fire bricks. So the bloomery itself, bloomery base is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the top is 4. So it's 12 per bloomery. So I am making enough fire bricks now to make 4 bloomeries right off the bat. And then every time you harvest a bloomery, you're gonna get back like, what is it, like 80% of your resources back, something like that. I forget exactly what the number is, but it's something around that. Yeah, 8 or 9 of the bricks come back to you, so you don't have to replace them all. And the same is true of steel making. There's ways to make steel more efficiently with rarer resources so that you get more of the refractory bricks back. But it's the same sort of concept, just scaled up a lot. I thought I had fire clay marked down on my map here. Where is my where is it? Heat, blue clay. Maybe I'll modify the clay into like chunks so they look different than mining. That's probably what I did, is I used a different symbol and it's confusing me now. But I am gaining daylight soon. It's 4 in the morning, so it's going to be a good time to search. All right, how about this? Oh, I saw a mistake up there. I will just fire up those 2 for 2 bloomeries, which is going to be a decent amount. And then we'll go searching. I'll just have to mark down any fire clay that I find. All right, that's squared away. Let's put everything, all the things I don't need in my inventory away, and we'll go searching for iron. The other thing I'll need to do is to study the map, because I actually don't know where the best iron that we've prospected is, so there'll be a little of that going on as well. So I have an unfired fire clay brick, but that can wait until we have a full batch. And some ladders, yes. So planks with a stick in the middle. Let's make a bunch of ladders. You know, I should probably use up this prospecting pick too. So part of this trip will just be to use up a bunch of the stuff I don't need, so that I can free up like rack space. All right, so 60 letters is pretty good. I think we're ready. May want to eat. And then... there we go. Okay. Let's check. So, bismuth. I guess we could check the yellow ones because I color-coded them. So this one is nickel zinc. So green is the best. Tin. Titanium. That I probably meant tin. Bismuth. Anthracite. Copper. A lot of copper. So that's a almost 1% iron. Oh, 1.4. That's far away, but that might be the highest. Here's a 0.6. These gravel fields, not as high. So it looks like north, far north might be the best hint that we have so far. I'm not really checking these systematically. Crimson Rust, thank you for the resub. What about south? These are really high copper. I'm gonna delete that. Don't know what that is. So, question for you guys. Do I head to the 1.4 up there? Or do I try to find something more local? The known area is kind of far away. Prospecting could yield something nicer, closer. I don't know. The other thing is, I think on this trip, I'm going to go armored. It's worth it. Because iron can only be found... iron is deeper. I'll just put it that way. I think it's like 85% from the bottom of the world gen. So the world gen is 256 high. So it is only 85% of halfway. If that's really confusing, basically I have to dig 15% down at least to the core of the world, to the bottom, in order to start to find iron. You're not going to find it on the surface. So I don't have, so looking around like home, I don't have a lot of prospecting marks down this way. So I'm going to start prospecting on the other side of the gravel field to the southwest. It's not a hunch, it's just, I figure it makes the most sense to like prospect the area immediately around the base because it's closest. And then to work my way out from there. And while I run around on the above ground, I'm not going to wear armor because I'm faster. So it looks like you guys want to prospect. The way that iron generates... And I'm just quickly checking the crops here. The way iron generates in the world is it generates in really large discs. So think of like as a very... I'm just going to make up a number to give you a for instance. Think of it as like something like a 30 by 30 disc that is a few units thick, like 2 units thick, underground. So if you mine straight down in a vertical shaft... Oh, this is a rich copper. I'm going to leave this copper here. But obviously this is really easy copper to get. Surface copper. So if you mine down in a vertical shaft, you're very likely to hit the discs if they exist below you in a high chance iron area. And the veins can sometimes be so large that, like, you just... almost all the iron you need can be sourced from one vein, unless you, like, unless you do a ton of iron stuff. So, food for thought, I guess. Alright, so I don't have any prospecting marks near me where I am now. So let's get some. And I'll update the priority. It'd be really nice if I found iron, like, in my backyard. It's not to say I think it's gonna happen, but sure as be convenient. Oh, the stupid gravel field goes deeper and deeper. This is a lot of work for, like, one prospecting mark, but that's what you get in a gravel field, right? There's titanium here. Poor. Titanium is only used to make the highest tier refractory bricks for steelmaking. Not something that I'm gonna need possibly ever. Because the ilmenite, which is titanium, is honestly easier to find than the second ingredient you need for steelmaking. Just throwing it out there. So, yeah. All right, let's prospect here. There's a little bit of deep native copper here. It's not an awesome spot. And I colored that wrong. I'm color coding it like this deep red for bad, and then yellow for decent, and green for good, or I guess blue if it was, like, amazing. Not that I've found anything that I would report as amazing quite yet. There's also a merchant over here that I haven't marked down. So, oh, look at this. A mature flax. All right. I'm feeling lucky. With all this mature flax that I'm about to harvest, don't worry, I'll harvest it. And what is this, blue clay? Yep. I feel lucky that this is a good spot to prospect. Probably isn't. But I'll check anyway. Zinc, copper, it's the same. Slightly worse than the last place I prospected, but basically the same. 1 zinc, 3.5 copper, and 0.5 bismuth. I don't care about the grain, or gravel, or stone, or soil. So, 6 flax fibers found out in the wild. Actually, you know what? My grain is bad. Eating raw flax grain barely fills anything, but, like, it's better than throwing it away, I suppose. All right, who are you? Survival goods. So he has got like some weapons and a wolf pup, a recurve bow that I could buy because I didn't have the materials to build my own bow, a fur coat. So let's mark this down as a survival goods. Kilgore, thanks for the gifted subs. I'll even close your fence for you. Cheers, dude. Mark it down. Oh, vessel food. I'm not going to take it. I don't have space. I'm really like running out of space for everything, in fact, because I've not been so choosy about what I've been picking up. So prospecting the mountains up north might be a better spot. So I'll try it here and then I'll start working my way north, just because the mountains up north has a bunch of exposed stone, which is just simply going to make it easier for me to prospect. This was very high zinc. 2.8 zinc. 0.9 bismuth. All right, northbound we go. I'm actually, yeah, I'm gonna get, well, I'll hold on to the turnip seeds for now, but it's probably gonna be one of the first things to go, just because I'm running out of space. And onion seed now too. We might be entering wolf country. Well, let's head here. I hear some wild bees near me too. So maybe what I'll do is I'll harvest the wild bees and then swing by home to drop stuff off. Sorry, bees. You deserve better, but you're not getting better. I'm killing you anyway. And there's resin. I'll just mark it down as a resin tree. I like how sometimes, because there's no diagonals, leaning pine trees look, or leaning any trees look real wild. Do things despawn? Yeah, actually very quickly. That is a very common critique that I hear. Things disappear in 10 minutes. So anything that you just dump, unless you go back for very soon, is gone. Unless you put it in a chest. So my plan is as follows. I'm going to go a little bit north into those mountainous region to do some prospecting, and if I don't come up with something within a reasonable amount of time, until I feel bored, I'll say, of a good iron spot to tap, I'm going to go to a known zone instead. So this isn't, this is a finite prospecting. Probably don't even need that spear. That's not a spear. Anything else I don't need? These two tools are going to break pretty soon. Yeah, this looks good. And I have the my armor in the hotbar, because if I did control right click rather, it puts it on immediately, as you can see. So if I get into a fight, I can run away while control clicking my armor to throw the armor on real fast, and then turn around and face whatever's chasing me. So I have the armor in the hotbar like that. And I'll probably don the armor as I head into the mountains, because I know the mountains are pretty wolf-infested. Oh, before I leave the base, let's move the hides around. That'd be a good use of my time. And then, prospecting for reals. I know, right? You're probably rolling your eyes hard and going like, oh, yeah, just another side task. It can be very challenging to stay on task in this game, because there's always something more to do at home. So trying to get anything done outside of your base is definitely one of those like, oh, but one more thing type scenarios. Weak tannen's done. Oh, you know what? Actually, there's nothing for me to do here for another 5 hours, so I take that back. Just heading up. Here I was, jumping the gun. Here, bud. So now that I'm just traveling, if you have any questions, even if they're not about prospecting, feel free to ask. I have the Ask a Question About the Game redemption up too. I'm glad I don't live here anymore, because that portal right there is probably ruining real estate prices. Little titanium, little zinc. Are there more weapon options in iron than copper and bronze? No. All the weapon options are, they just get stronger, I guess. There are some weapons that aren't. It's kind of hard to answer. There are some weapons that, like, you can buy but not make. But they're not made of, like, a specific material exactly. But basically, all the weapons that you can forge in lesser metals and stronger metals as well. What's the best membership to support me? Well, I don't have YouTube membership, but Patreon is probably the largest cut. But, like, personally, I don't. It's whatever benefits you want to get. So, as a YouTube subscriber, or, as a Twitch subscriber, it's ad-free, and raffles for live streams. As a Patreon patron, it's the ability to influence the series that I create, because I put up a lot of polls, and being on the credits, and then having characters named after you in like Patreon raffles, and some of the other benefits as well. or just like straight PayPal if that's convenient, although there's no real benefit there for you. Okay. This is, I'm just going to literally put nothing. There's functionally nothing in this prospect. It's important to even mark down nothing so you don't end up in the same spot twice to get a whole lot of nothing twice. Oh, this is a temple. This is like an ancient temple under here. That's what these little granite pillars are. I'll mark it down, I guess, as an unlooted cracked vessel. Because I use the ruins. I use the ruins indicator for prospecting because it looks like a bar graph. So for ruins, I use the cracked vessel. That's a wolf. Let's not go that way. Yeah, it really depends if you want like something out of your support or if you just want to throw me a few bucks. Oh, there's a little bit of silver here. Argentum, AG. This is... I'm just gonna call it min AG. I don't have a schema for like barely any. But silver's kind of nice. Silver is pretty useful to make great lanterns and the like. I probably should have a functionally different color for when it's like silver or gold, because I'm not likely to ever find it in high volumes anyway. And keeping it in red color is going to make it really tricky to find in the future. So I'll make these white as they're different. They're worth my attention for other reasons. And I did find that gold spot like a while back that I didn't follow that schema for, but I should have. More okay, because my pick broke. It's like, do it again. Actually, I think it was just too close. Oh yeah, silver and gold here too. So if there was a spot with iron, silver, and gold, I would sincerely consider it. If it was like decent iron, let's say 1 milli, 1 part per thousand of iron plus silver and gold, that would be a place to dig. For sure. Haven't found that yet, but I'll prospect a few more spots. Oops, I don't want the macro editor. In this direction. Hoping to find something spicy like that. That'd be great. Why am I write down copper? Deep copper can still be useful. The thing is, like, there's a lot of things in the game where the quality of the metal does not matter, like lanterns. So even if you're in the Steel Age, it makes no sense whatsoever to like make steel lanterns. So you're still going to be using copper to make a lot of your stuff. So I'm writing down copper here also as just as an indicator of like I prospected and it came up dry or came up poor. Yeah, copper is definitely a metal that, due to its abundance, you'll use most. It's also anything past... Copper is the simplest thing to make simple things out of, too, because it's a crucible metal, so you can melt it in crucibles in high volumes and pour it into ingot molds, and then with a Helve hammer, process those ingots into plates for whatever the heck you want. High, like lanterns galore, let's say. Whereas bronze, because it's a mix, bronze is as easy as copper, I suppose, but anything past that, like iron or steel, because it's a much more complex process that destroys itself, right? Like a bloomery gets destroyed afterwards. You would not want to make things that don't benefit from the qualities of iron out of iron unless you are desperate. Like iron lanterns, etc. So there's a tiny bit of iron here. Not worth really mentioning, but it's non-zero technically. So this was what, 0.5 nickel and something else? I forget. Chromite. And min sulfur. So I'll make this red, or white. So I'll do a few more prospecting, but I'm definitely coming up on up to the point where it's like I should cut my losses and go to a known prospecting point, because my pickings have not been good. Yeah, or a less useful tool like shears or a scythe. Don't make it out of make it out of like a crucible metal, not a bloomery metal. All right, we got a 0.3. Wow, there's a lot of sulfur here too. So this is a real potential spot, because it's 0.3 ferrite and 0.8 sulfur, which is like a lot of sulfur. I don't know if sulfur's just S, isn't it? I'm calling it SU, but whatever. As long as I know what I mean. So, I am very possibly going to mine here. I'm not too far from base. It's really not that far from base, and 0.3 is a pretty decent read. Yeah, I knew that sulfur was S. I did chemistry, and I did okay in the class. It also had a tiny minuscule read of borax in that last. I don't care for cinnabar or anything, so I'm really only caring about the sulfur and hematite for these reads. So this is also sulfur hematite. It's the same sort of thing. There, I did S. Oh, I hear something nasty, I think. No, maybe not. Fox making fox noises. So I'll do a few prospects around here to see if it's if there's a hotter spot for iron. Because surface prospecting takes a lot less effort than committing to doing deep digging. And then I'll pick the hottest spot I find and commit to it. Hematite and titanium. So there's iron and titanium in this here, but no more sulfur or borax in more than minuscule amounts. So this is like a worse spot. Okay, let's go northeast. Because essentially, what I'm also trying to do is mark down the disk that might be below me. Right, so I explained that iron forms in sort of like 30 by 50 wide discs, roughly. Not exactly. I'm just oh, you got eaten by another creature. I'm just generalizing. So what I'm trying to do is prospect around where the disc could be underneath me to find sort of the center point. to save me time, because once you're deep underground, it sucks to try to, like, you know, find the disc. It's way easier to try to figure out where the disc is centered on the surface. Saves you a lot of time in the long run. Hematite is even higher here. We're up at a 0.4, or 0.4. Okay. Now, compare that with this read up here. This was a 1.4. So, if I can try to find the hotspot here, that's cool, but, like, we might want to just pull the plug and go for the 1.4. So I'll do 1 or 2 more reads here, and then after that, have you decide, do I mine here, or do I cut my losses and go to the known 1.4? There's a lot of sulfur here. 1.5 milli sulfur. That's a lot of sulfur. So there's some sort of giant sulfur vein underneath me, most likely, in this spot. So if I wanted to make lots of explosives with saltpeter and sulfur and black coal, I've hit pay dirt here, I guess. Another high sulfur. But I moved outside of the borax, or the iron. So let's try here to the east, because that's in a direction close to the highest read of iron I had around here that I hadn't prospected. And if that comes out 0.4 or less, I'll put up the poll about whether or not to travel, whether or not to mine here, which honestly could have hundreds of iron, or to go to the 1.4. Either one will work. Oh, and this might have the advantage of a cave, which speeds up the process of finding stuff. I'll prospect this cave. How am I liking this game? I haven't played Minecraft in like a decade, so I can't compare it to Minecraft, as I don't have a point of reference of what Minecraft is anymore, functionally. I feel like if you haven't played a game in like 15 years that has been in constant development in those 15 years, you haven't played the game recent enough to critique the difference between two. All right, so we're at a 0.4 hematite for this cave. So I'm going to mark this down as a ladder, and then also put down a 0.6 sulfur and 0.4 iron. This isn't exactly where I wanted to prospect, so I'll do one more out here. Rye, I don't care about rye. Is it going to make me dig? Yeah, it's going to make me dig. Fine. It's creepy that I hear, like, loud splashes of water nearby. Do not like. If you're a murderous monster, leave me alone. I really enjoyed this game quite a lot. Okay. And this also has a 1.1% borax. So, There is a lot of stuff around here. A question for you guys. Do I travel to the 1.4 iron or mine here? Thank you for tuning in to Vintage Story, which originally streamed live on Twitch December 7th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind for this series I ask for no spoilers or backseating. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. And if you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Seraphs.